Hello and welcome to Friday afternoon Rolling Realms. We're doing Pendulum, Wingspan, and Tapestry today. This will be a 3-round series, one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday. Feel free to let me know how you're doing, what you're doing this weekend, and how you score in each of these rounds. So in Pendulum, you are going to do one of two things with numbers. One, you can use any number to circle one of these octagons and don't do anything else right away. Two, you can use a number to cross off one of these numbers on an hourglass. And when you cross off the last number on any hourglass, you gain all of the benefits that you've circled so far. And those benefits remain circled so that later on when you finish off another hourglass, you gain those benefits again. That is Pendulum. Pretty simple. Wingspan, you have 3 different bird cards you're trying to complete. Within each bird card, you're moving from left to right, but you can start on any bird card that you want and jump around from one bird card to the next. As you write a number down in one of these slots, so if I write down a number here, you gain the benefit below, a heart. And there are stars. The stars are the final benefits on each of these rows, on each of the cards. And if the sum of all the numbers on a card adds up to 7, 12, or 16, depending on the card, you get a bonus star. Last, in Tapestry, you are using polyomino shapes. You have to use the full shape that you select based on the number and fill in cells on this grid here. When you completely cover up a resource, some of which are pre-covered or pre-finished thanks to these squares, when you completely cover up a resource, you gain it. When you complete a big column or a big row, you get a star. One of my favorite realms. Tough to complete though. Let's see if we can do it today. First turn. We have a 2 and a 1. Not a great start for Tapestry where we want big numbers early on, but fine for Pendulum, fine for Wingspan. Let's put a, what do I want to do here? Let's put the 2 over here on Wingspan to gain a pumpkin. And we'll put a 1, let's put it on Pendulum. I feel like I did the wrong numbers on Pendulum last time, but let's go after coins. I can't resist the coins. But we don't get anything yet on Pendulum. We don't get those benefits until we complete an hourglass. A pair of 4s. All right. So pairs are nice. If you have a pair, you can spend 2 hearts to copy one of those numbers and use it in a realm that you haven't used this turn. So I don't know if we'll be able to really do that on this particular turn, but let's see what we can do. A pair of 4s. Couple different places I could put them. I guess I could strive to get a heart, although I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get a heart. Well, it would be tough to get a heart out of Wingspan. I could get a heart right there. You know, let's go for it. Let's use the pair while we have it. Let's put a 4 right there. I'm going to need 6s in the other spots on Wingspan. And let's also put a 4 somewhere in Tapestry in such a way that we complete a heart. So either here or here. Let's keep it off to the side, I think, and go right there. This might hurt our chances of completing Tapestry, but that's okay. It's not always possible. And then I'm going to spend 2 hearts to copy one of the 4s. And I'm going to put it right here in Pendulum. I'm going to set myself up to complete an hourglass later. All right, turn 3. I think that's it. Yeah. A 5 and a 3. So we've rolled all numbers so far except for 6. The 3 I might want to use over here in Pendulum. The 5, I wouldn't mind getting the coin here. And yeah, let's do that. Let's put a 5 right there in Wingspan. We'll get a coin. And the 3, let's actually use the 3 over here in Tapestry. We'll put the 3 right here and get another coin. Focusing on that first column so far. And then I can use any number. I'll create a 1 value die with one of those coins to go ahead and get a star from Pendulum. So far so good, I think. We really do need all numbers that we can get to complete these realms. We'll see how we can do. 6 and a 3. There's a 6. 6s are what I want in Tapestry, although we have now already eliminated some of the places where we can put that 6. Here's 1. I kind of like this one. Will that work? That's interesting. I don't know if I've done that before. Doesn't complete any cells, which might hurt us a little bit, but I kind of like using that 6 there. And the 3, where do I want to put the 3? I think, it's tempting to put it in Pendulum. But Pendulum is also just so easy to put, to use 1 value dice to just circle the octagons. So let's use the 3 over here in Wingspan and get a coin. And I need to remember that to complete Wingspan and get the full benefits, I need to use 2 6s over there. Or you can also just completely ignore the number, ignore the sum in Wingspan. Maybe on one of the cards, just ignore it and get the benefits, but don't get the full 6 stars. Sometimes it's better to give up a little bit on getting the 6 stars to help you out more in the other 2 realms. All right, turn 5. A 3 and a 4. When numbers add up to 7, you can use 2 coins to copy one of those numbers. So that could be a viable thing to do this turn if we really want to. I don't know if I have any easy coins to get right now. I've set myself up to get... Yeah, we could do that. We could do that over there. Either the 3 or 4 could work in Tapestry, I think. So where is a better place to use the 4? I already used the 4 in Pendulum, so I don't want to do that. I could use the 4 over in Wingspan here. And that would just have it need me to get a 3 later. What do I want to do here? And do I want to try to get a coin so that I can double up on one of these numbers? I don't know if that's necessarily worth it, but it might be. Yeah, I actually don't think, well, maybe I could go after a coin. Let's go ahead and get that coin. Let's use a 4 over here to get another coin. And we'll then use, it's a little bit of a gamble, but I want to go for it anyway. So that was the 4. The 3, let's put over here in Wingspan. 3 to get a heart. Now we'll use 2 coins to copy the 3 and put that over here in Pendulum, getting myself a little closer to getting the benefits from Pendulum. Again, we'll see if that pays off. Joshua says he's not able to play along today, but love watching these. Feels like a sneak peek into Jamie's mind when he plays game. That's true, yeah. When it's just me playing here, I just talk out loud about what I'm thinking and about strategy, and maybe a little bit about mechanisms too, but mostly about strategy. We have a 6 and a 4 now. I did want that 6 for Tapestry. I need that 6 for Wingspan. This is going to be a tough decision. And that 6 could also be good in Pendulum. The 4 is not good in Pendulum, unfortunately. But I do have 4 turns left. Ooh, what do I do here? So the 4 does finish off Wingspan perfectly, the middle card on Wingspan. So I might want to do that and use that 6. I think I need to do that plan. Let's put 6 right here. That finishes off a pumpkin and a heart, so that's pretty good. Pumpkin and a heart. And the 4, again, can't really use it in Pendulum unless I modify that 4. I think it's a little early to do that. I could put it up here, but I don't think that's worth it. I think it's worth the best move to put it right there and get 2 stars out of the middle card on Wingspan. I wish I could do a little bit more this turn. Oh, I need to write that down. I was wondering why I had an extra turn. So only 3 turns left. That's going to have me fall behind on Pendulum since I'm not doing anything in Pendulum right now. That's a little problematic. But I can't do much about it, unfortunately. Dominic says, happy Friday. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you have a great weekend too, Dominic. Any fun plans? Any games planned? I have a playtest planned for actually today and later this weekend. Another pair here, and we do have hearts available to take advantage of this pair. Although I used a 3 earlier in Pendulum, so it doesn't really help me a ton there. And I need a 2 over here in Wingspan. Yeah, 3 is not the number I want. I do not want 3s. So I think I might need to give up on getting a perfect score in Wingspan. That's okay. I can work around that. But what do I do with that 3? The other 3. So, okay, let's do that. So the easy move is put the 3 right there and get a pumpkin. No problem there. I think I've got to use all my resources available. So I'm going to use 2 hearts to copy one of the 3s. I'm getting another 3. I'm going to use it right here in Pendulum. And then I'm going to modify one of those 3s using 2 pumpkins into a 2. And we'll put that 2 right down here. I feel like I'm putting myself into a trap here, but we'll go for it. So I'll get a coin there. Dominic says he has a couple playtests for 2 different games that he's working on. That's impressive. 2 different games at the same time. One of my playtests is for a game that I'm designing. The other one is for a game that I'm just the developer on. All right, turn 8. Coming down to the wire here. Haven't done quite enough in Pendulum. Really should have used a little bit of a payoff in advance there. 3 and a 2. I do need a 2 in Pendulum, but I also need that 2 over in Tapestry. Could have really used a 5 or a 6 on that roll. Could use the 2 in Wingspan too. Oh, that's a rough one. So it's worth 2 stars in Tapestry if I throw down a 2 there. And I get a pumpkin. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the 2. I like it. Order of operations is a wonderful thing in games. Which thing do I do first to really maximize it? Because I put that 2 down in here, but that gives me a second pumpkin because now I can manipulate this 3 into a 2, which I need in Pendulum and I need it in Wingspan. I'm going to go for Wingspan because I can use this 1. So I'm going to use that 2 right there. Hopefully that was worth it. It's 2 more stars. I think that's worth it. I'm going to use this 1 over here in Pendulum, setting myself up for a final turn in Pendulum where hopefully I will do something, but way too little too late. Yeah, final turn. And I really need, yeah, I'm falling short here all over the place. 5 and a 3. Well, that 5 would have been nice a few turns ago, but I do have it now. So let's go ahead and take it. Get that 5. Get 2 stars. We get 2 coins. We get a pumpkin, and we get a heart. And so that was the 5. We haven't used the 3 yet. And again, I wish that were a 2, because that could have me do some cool things in Tapestry. But I could create a 2 in Tapestry. I could also create a 1 in Tapestry. What is worth it there? I wish I had pumpkins to reuse Pendulum, because that would be a big play. But I don't have that available to use. Okay, I'm going to... This number does not matter right there. It's a star. I'm not getting up to 16 anyway. So that's 5 stars from Wingspan. That's not bad. For Pendulum, I know I can complete 1 more row. Yeah, I think the best I can do is to spend 2 coins right there to get another pumpkin. And I think that's where the road ends. I'm 1 short on Tapestry. So close here. But I would need 3 pumpkins and another coin to pull that off. And I don't have that. So I have 4 stars from Tapestry, 5 from Wingspan, 2 from Pendulum for a score of 11.3. Let's see how you all do with this configuration. Kind of an interesting time. I mean, those 6s came up. There are 2 6s that came up. But maybe not the right time. We'll see. I bet someone will do better than 11.3. That's a so-so score, but decent for what ended up happening here. All right. Thanks for playing along. I'll be back tomorrow for round 2. Yeah, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.